We're alive. We're back. So it's been a while since our last video, so I figured it was time for a garden update, so we can take a look at the garden, take a look at what's going on, what's growing, what's finished, what's not finished, and what we're planning. So let's take a look around. So Lily's currently getting this in-ground bed ready to plant a lot of squash, a lot of zucchini plants.
I've been neglecting this bed for a long time. All I have in here right now is one slug-munched eggplant.
Yeah, we're dealing with some pretty bad slug damage. The garlic is looking pretty much, I think it's almost ready. You can see some of the upper leaves are starting to yellow.
The first bottom set of leaves, when those turn yellow, it's usually about time.
We got some new trellising. That's pretty nice, right? The peas seem to like it a lot. This Detroit red beet just reseeded here. That just sort of popped up. And she planted a lot of these pea seedlings here. And they're all springing up now. Over here we've got Old Kentucky Homestead green beans, that's what they are. Dragoon lettuce, some gourmet lettuce blend. More garlic, more lettuces, more lettuces. There are cucumbers coming up here, I think. Yeah, there's a cucumber. There's another cucumber there. Carmina purple pole beans. Okay, so we've got these two different types of peas over here. These huge ones are King Tut peas, and we're definitely going to be growing more of these because they're doing so good. They latch themselves right onto this trellis. It looks like a hand. They're going. They've probably got like a good 12 inches in maybe like 2 weeks. Really awesome growth out of those. Sugar daddy peas, that's what these are. They need to grow. They need to be like these. More garlic, more garlic, more garlic. These are onions. This is bunching onion. This is actually like one of the better things that we've grown. The slugs don't touch them. They really don't care about them. I'll come out here and clip a few of these, maybe just one. Great for potatoes and soups. I made a chicken stock soup and I just filled it full of these onions. I can't get enough of that stuff. You might have noticed all of the new trellising that's going on here. We've been thinking of covering some of these beds, and I've been trying out new ideas of trellising options of how to cover them. So this is the pepper bed. Look at this. So this plant looks really bad, right? Except if you look at the stem, you can actually see that there's a lot of new growth coming up. We had them underneath one of those Mars Hydro lights, but they were a bit too close. But it is kind of weird because some of them really seemed to enjoy it. Like this one here, a little bit of slug damage. That is the Thai hot chili. I guess it would make sense that the Thai hot chili peppers love the sunlight and love that heat. We're going to be planting a lot more peppers, but this is what we've got right now. Maybe a little too close together. I don't care. You know, we're still just getting into our season, so it's no big deal. Eggplant patio baby, right?
Yep, it's a mini eggplant.
Again, slug damage. They're crawling all the way up here. It's crazy how many slugs we have. Probably just need to weed eat. We've got this other eggplant over here, which is a little bit further into the driveway area. No slug damage. Look at how good it's doing. Rearranged. We've rearranged and rearranged. Doghouse is over here now. Got some of the same stuff coming up over here. Those cucumbers and Old Kentucky Wonder beans.
Different varieties. 4 different varieties of beans. Northeaster pole beans, Seychelles pole beans, salt and pepper, white cucumbers, and then on the other side it's the Kentucky Wonder, Old Homestead, whatever those are called, pole beans, Carminat purple pole beans, and then a muncher, just like a typical green pickling cucumber variety on the other side.
You know what's funny?
Heads up.
Our Robin friend has just been watching over you the whole time.
Mama Robin.
She watches over us, man.
Over here I have nasturtiums planted that'll come up and should grow along this trellis over here. And I also have marigolds planted in that other bed that you can't see either. Eventually it'll be beautiful.
Yeah. This bed's already looking better. So over here, kind of the same deal that happened with the peppers. We planted a lot of different varieties of tomatoes. Each one kind of reacted differently to the different levels of light Some of them burned, some of them really liked it. It seems like all of them survived, and all of them are coming back full strength. I might just post a list because there's a bunch of them. I think there's literally like each one is different. In the front here, she just went through and did a broadcast of marigolds.
Red and orange marigolds.
Red and orange marigolds.
I don't know the varieties because I got them in a seed swap. So they're surprise marigolds.
This is the new bed that we put in this season. Just the same as the old beds. I don't care what anybody says. I use pine wood all the time. We put this one up against the fence because we kind of couldn't ignore how much sunlight it gets over here. But let's talk about the big thing, the greenhouse, which is looking way better than before. The triangle door that I had put in was a bit too small. It was pretty difficult for Lily to get in, especially with her being about 7 months pregnant now. So I just made this new door screwed in at the bottom there. We've got this little step magnet. If you don't know, wood prices are out of control. Wood has gotten really expensive, and this was pretty much the last of the wood that I had on hand. And I was able to make this door. This is just like an outer frame. These pieces are pretty thin. They're just nailed in place. This is just some paneling. Here's the actual frame of it. 3-inch exterior screws. This is all one piece that just runs down the length of it because I just happen to have that. And then these panels I also just happen to have, and they were a little bit longer than what I needed, so I cut them down. And now we've got this new door for the greenhouse. 10 times better than what it was. Just open it up. Little chair here. Lord. So I'm maybe gonna make a step, because it's kind of like a small door as far as height goes. But that's the beauty of it. Me and Lily are not very tall. You know, maybe it's a hazard. If I were any taller, I would hit my head, for sure. Short game. Yeah, we just got an extension cord running in here. A little thermometer. It's a little warm. It stays pretty humid in here. Got this light. I'll show you that in a little bit, because it is just nice in here with the lights on. It's kind of like really relaxing. You know, I've been working on woodshop stuff, trying to get things up on the shop. And then I actually had someone order something from another shop I have. But he ordered this little pit bull dog face. It's pretty much good to go. I just have to glue it to its base over here. And this was stained recently. I've just been letting it cure the last 2 or 3 days now. Thank you, Andrew, for the purchase of that random item.
Plenty of other garlic, as you saw, so we just went ahead and pulled it. Not the best bowl, but I have a feeling the others are going to be a bit bigger.
Nice. Ah! Looks good. Looks good. She's got her potting bench in here, filled with soil. Just like last year. I have totally changed up the back corner here, and I'm going to be working on this today. I've got 3 piles here. The one is leaves, and then 2 of these are grass clippings that were cut at different times. Basically, I'm going to treat these as carbon and treat this as nitrogen, and I'm going to make a hot compost. I'm going to do a Berkeley method. Water it in between the layers, and we're going to fill this up every couple of days. I'm going to flip it from there to there to there, and hopefully we're going to get some soil out of this. I think what I'm learning most as a gardener is the most important thing is soil, because soil is so expensive, but it's never as good as what you can make yourself. I think that's the main thing that I'm trying to focus on in gardening. That is creating soil, creating good compost, and creating lots of it. I'm still going to be keeping this little compost pile going. This is going to be our food disposal. Whenever I make the compost, I'm going to add some of that in. This is going to be like sprinkled in between the layers as well. Does not smell very good. Probably lacking some nutrients, but it's got others that these aren't going to have. You may have heard of compost activators, stuff like comfrey. Dandelions are compost activators, right? Yarrow.
Comfrey.
Mm-hmm.
There are several.
Compost activators. And, you know, we're looking into growing lots of those things. But what I've actually heard is the #1 compost activator is compost itself. So that's what we're kind of going to aim for here. Thank you, permapasters, for the ideas. Really good stuff. Keep it up. If this is what this tiny little garlic looks like, then I am really excited to see what this garlic looks like. This is like smaller than my pinky finger, and that's like bigger than my thumb. So, insert sex joke now.
I should have done this probably a month ago, but growing a baby and growing a garden can be tough work.
So this back bed, we're not really sure what's going on here. We think that we've got a few self-seeded herbs. We know that this is sage. We're not sure about this, these. That's a maple seedling. Get that out of here. This might be oregano. We're not really sure about it. Does anyone know? Is that oregano? It doesn't really give off much of a smell, so it might just be a weed. We're not sure. But this is definitely sage. Yeah, this is another one of the bed cover frames. This was a prototype, but I think I'm actually going to take this and use it as a sort of sawhorse whenever I need it. Probably just a table extension of some kind. I'll probably make a second one of these and just make like a really long extendable table, you know? Something that I can move around, similar to what I've got going over there. She's still up there. Hope she's got a seed now. So we threw old potatoes in here, and look at this. We've had potatoes springing up out of this, the food waste compost pile. There's a lot of nutrients in here. It's been going for a while. I'm sure if I dug it out, there'd be some really good stuff on the bottom. It's another project I'm working on. A compost sifter. Maybe some kind of sifting cube. I don't know.
A little low on mulch, but I'm going to do some planting in here. And I can always add some more mulch later on.
Looks pretty good to me. We've got some garlic growing over here that's probably about ready for harvest. Just about there. And this is probably the most exciting bed here. We've got a lot of different stuff going on, so if anything is like a permaculture garden, it's this one bed. Look at just in this one section here, we've got 2 different types of carrots, a Detroit red beet, garlic on the left side, and those are blue moon radishes in the back. Just to the side of that, we've got a lot of these dragoon lettuces, which are suffering some flood damage. And then in the back there, I think that's another eggplant, a Nubian eggplant. Look at these potatoes. Look at these potatoes. Look at these potatoes. We planted a bunch of organic store-bought potatoes. That's what we did. We didn't buy seed potatoes. We just bought the store-bought organic stuff. They're doing really good. And I'm just really hoping that they're doing good underneath the soil and not just on top of the soil. These are just regular russets, and then these are reds, and I'm pretty sure there's a couple different varieties of each kind, like fingerling potatoes. Look at the difference in the leaf. Pretty standard looking leaf, you know. Whitish green veins. And then let's look at the leaf for one of the red potatoes. So, also pretty standard looking leaf, but if you look at that vein in the center, it's red, reddish purple. And you can see that continues down the stem. And that's not the case over here. These are green all the way down the stem. These have this nice purple tint. It's almost like a pepper plant. Look at that. That's pretty big. We got a radish. So yeah, the greenhouse has kind of turned into this pretty nice area. And it doesn't get the maximum amount of light that it probably could, because it does have a little bit of tree cover. But that's okay, because we're going to be mainly using it as a seed starting area, a potting area, and also something to keep our more humid, moisture-loving plants in that like the heat. So probably things like peppers are going to do better in here.
So I'm planting out some zucchini and some summer squashes. I've got about 10 different varieties of summer and a couple winter squash. Different things to plant out. All kinds of different things are going in right now. Now the fun part is deciding where I want to put everything.
So this is our first strawberry plant that we've grown. The idea is to get a whole field worth of strawberries from the one plant, right? It looks pretty strong. It is an alpine strawberry. It's pretty typical. But I guess I'm going to get started on this compost. Lily's working out where to plant these seeds right now. Which one's that?
Dark green zucchini summer squash.
Nice. Growing, I think, like 8 different kinds of zucchini.
A lot.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, we're trying out different types of zucchini, different types of peas, radishes, beets, beans, cucumbers. We definitely found some good garlic. I'm really looking forward to pulling a couple of these up. We're probably going to pull one up as a test, just to see what it looks like underneath, but yeah, it's just about ready. Garden's looking pretty good with these lights. So yeah, I think that's where we're going to cut it today. Got the compost good and going. Yeah, she just finished planting that whole bed of zucchini, but I think I'm about done for the day. Hey, look, that tiny little garlic she hung in here. I sure do like this greenhouse. This is a lot of effort, but I think it was well worth it. I think that's going to do it for me. It's good to be back on camera. It's been a while. I'm Tyler from Homegrown Haven Farm. Don't give up. Keep growing. See you guys next time.
Fight groups. Dealing with groups that were dangerous now. Dealing with
Look at all those chickens.